Hey, today we are looking at factorising quadratic equations, and we're going to be looking at the equations with positive and negative numbers. I have got a previous video where we're just working with positive numbers and another video where we are looking at expanding, so check those out too. But we're going to make a start here. So as we know from the previous videos, when we're looking at factorising quadratic equations, we know that that number at the end, the factors that are used to multiply to create that, must be added to make that middle number. So the only difference this time is we're going to be working with a negative number rather than a positive. So let's start by writing in our brackets and looking at that x squared. Now, same as last time, what does x squared mean? It means that it's been times by itself. Therefore, we know that it can go at the start of those brackets. We've got an x in bracket number 1 and an x in bracket number 2. Now we're going to go and take a look at this negative 15 number. So we're going to start by just writing down all of the factors that would create negative 15, and then from there we can decide which ones would give us, when added together, the number 2. So we could have 1 multiplied by negative 15. We could have negative 1 multiplied by 15. We could have 3 multiplied by negative 5. And we could have negative 3 multiplied by 5. So those are our factor pairs that we could have to create negative 15. Now we need to look at which of those, when added together, would give us the answer of 2. So let's take a look. Well, it can't be 1 and negative 15, so we can cross that one out. It can't be negative 1 and 15. You might assume that it would be 3 and negative 5, but in fact this would give us negative 2, so it won't be that one. So the only one it could be would be negative 3 and 5. So we're going to pop that into our brackets. So we've got negative 3 and plus 5. Now, just to make sure that that's the correct answer and we've chosen the correct numbers, we're going to expand this and simplify, and if our end equation matches our beginning equation, we know that we've chosen the correct numbers. So again, we're going to multiply everything in that second bracket by everything in the first bracket. So let's go. So we've got x multiplied by x, that's going to give us x squared. We've then got x multiplied by 5, that's going to give us plus 5x, sorry. And again, it's a positive number because it was working with the positive numbers. We're then going to look at that negative 3. So we're going to do negative 3 multiplied by x, which is going to give us negative 3x. And then we've got negative 3 multiplied by 5, which is going to give us negative 15. So now we've written out that, we've expanded it, we're just going to group everything together. So let's start the way we normally do with that x squared. It's the only thing there with indices, so therefore we know it can't be grouped with anything else, it's just going to be there on its own. Now let's look at the x's. We've got 5x minus 3x, which we know would give us plus 2x. And then finally on its own, we've got negative 15. So if we look at that, we've got x squared plus 2x minus 15, which is exactly the same as our start equation. Therefore, we know we've got the correct numbers in our brackets. If we had ended up with a different equation there, then we would know that we'd made a mistake somewhere, and we would just have to swap the numbers around or change the numbers completely in order to get back to that original equation. And that's factorising quadratic equations with negative numbers.